Liftoff.
Hey everybody, sit right back, grab yourself a tasty beverage, as I have. Propers to the crew for taking care of us on this evening recording. And get ready for not question of the week. You see this right here? These are our questions of the week, which Ryan and Dave do an awesome job of gathering from you guys. You submit them on Twitter and on Facebook. But you guys are kind of in a rut. You're asking us a lot of the same questions I feel like we've been over, and I sometimes wonder whether that's because you want us to grind stuff out or go back to a different point of view. Anyway, I don't know what that's all about, but I have something else on my mind. So this week, I went to GDC Austin, and of course, since I was traveling, I was thinking about mobile gaming. And I looked in my, well, not in my drawer actually, it sits over there on the side of my desk, and saw my Vita. And I thought, you know what? People give me crap all the time for not playing my Vita enough. And it really is actually a badass piece of hardware. So I'm going to play my Vita. And awesome, Retro City Rampage is going to be out this week, so I'll have something really cool to play on Tuesday. Of course, I'm leaving on Monday, and I'm thinking, well, what am I going to play on it now? And I go through the list. Oh, that's right, there really isn't much of a list. And that is the problem. Everyone wants to sit around and go like, what's the problem with the Vita? The problem with the Vita isn't the Vita. Go back and look at the Vita again. It is a truly excellent piece of hardware. It has a great screen on it. I fired it up and I was reminded, oh, that's right, this looks better than my iPhone products. This looks better than my Apple products because this screen is badass. Oh, that's right, it has 2 thumbsticks. That's awesome. Oh, that's right, it has good touchscreens on it. Why is it not being successful? It's not being successful because it doesn't have the games, and the games that it does have, frankly, are too expensive for the mobile space. And this is something that I guess Nintendo has been able to a little bit overcome with 3DS on its mainstream titles, but it might also be why so many third-party developers have a tough time cracking into the 3DS space unless they're on a licensed property. Just keep in mind, while we don't, as gamers, think of the iPhone and iPad product as a direct competitor, it is still a mobile gaming platform, and it's a mobile gaming platform on which the predominant way of getting a game right now is free to play with some sort of in-app purchase, or maybe, 99 cents or $2.99. I picked up Horn. Well, I'm digressing again. This is awesome. It's like a crazy rambling BS fest. I picked up Horn to go on this trip as well. Remember, this is the game that's like Infinity Blade, but you can actually move your character around. It's also done on the Unreal Engine. It looks fantastic on iPad. It came out for all of $7, like $6.99, and it didn't sell so well, even though it had Zynga behind it. And so they had to cut the price to $3. Admittedly, I didn't buy it at $7. I waited $3. I was like, hell yeah, I'm in for $3. And it's a fun game. But in that sort of ecosystem, in that world, even if you take into account all of the awesome things the hardware does, trying to sell me $35 games is not going to work. And that's what Little King Story did. Now, Little King Story was one of my very favorite Wii games. I think you guys have probably heard me talk about it before. It was an awesome game that combined, adventure RPG action with the Pikmin sort of strategy game. So you can go put those two together. I won't go into the details of it right here. Now, they've reimagined it for Vita. And I kind of wish they had done more than just reimagined it, but they went through and gave it a new art style, a new 3D engine, and they've taken advantage of the touch controls that you have on the Vita. So awesome idea, right? Except it's a $35 digital game. Oh, and by the way, catch this. I don't know if you saw this, Ryan. There's a $20 DLC pack to go on top of my $35 Vita game. Now look, this might work for Borderlands 2, where if you buy, like 20 or 30 bucks worth of DLC, you actually get hours and hours worth of extra content on top of your $60 game that's at home. Even then, I'm a little skeptical because there's so much content, but it is just so much content. Handheld space, right? You have to think about adapting to that. And fundamentally, the beginning and ending of this conversation is that the Vita is still an awesome piece of hardware, and the sun has nowhere near set on that piece of hardware. It is an excellent piece of hardware. The sun is setting on development for the hardware, and that is the problem. We've got to get an advocate out there, and the only advocate that can really be is Sony. Someone in Sony has to say, you know what, we're going to champion this device because it is fantastic. And I think you're seeing some peripheral activity there with PlayStation Mobile, which does crossover from Vita to their Android handsets. But keep in mind, that's in its infancy right now, and it doesn't really leverage the key advantages of the Vita. It is a crossover. It's something else you can do with your Vita. And something else you can do with something is nice. What is the key piece, though, is what do you do with it that makes it what it is? What do I do with my 360 that makes it what it is? I do Halo. I do Xbox Live. What do I do with my PS3? I do Uncharted. I do Gran Turismo. What do I do with my Wii? I do Wii Sports. What do I do with my Vita? They have to answer that question. And when they can answer that question, then people will buy Vitas, and the whole thing will come around, and they still have ample time to do that. The time is to get on. They need to get on the stick with that, and they need to make it happen. So there you go. Now ask us some questions. And watch our daily show, because Ryan's been hosting that. We're doing an awesome job. Sorry we had a little lull in the daily videos, but we've moved offices. I hear they're very nice. I'm just back from Texas. I can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see you again. Not next week. I will be off at Night to Unite supporting the ESA's charity. But these guys will be here. They'll do a great show for you. And I'll be back the week after. So take care. Talk to you next time.
And they might release probably, I don't know, a 3DS XXL. They kind of seem slower to learn and adapt to trends.
And all those things we setup was so good. Missing release games that are much more action based. So my excitement was off the charts already.